Alright, so Offset just released his debut album, Father of Four, February 22nd. It has 16 songs and it runs for 58 minutes. Album cover, we see Offset seated on a high chair with his 4 kids surrounding him with an Egyptian backdrop. And I thought this was an interesting visual because it shows the importance of family to him, and his kids is his most precious thing. And originally the album title was Untitled, but he chose to name it, after him being a father of 4 kids, which is going to tie into the album itself, given different situations in regards to their different births, which also correlates to different times within his life. So I thought this was a pretty dope album cover. But anyways, moving on, singles, we have track 12, Clout, featuring Cardi B, and we have track 15, Red Room. Standouts, we have Father of Four. On his record, Offset pens an open letter of sorts to his 4 children, Cody, Culture, Kalia, and Jordan. He gives an account of different situations pertaining to each child, and the song shows Offset maturing through each childbirth by owning up to his faults as a father, missing time in certain portions of his kid's life, whether it's situations he did, which ended up with him being in jail or whatnot. And it also paints a picture to the love he has for his family and being a father. We have track 2, How Did I Get Here, featuring J. Cole. Offset asks how he got here, which is a self-reflection of himself. He's been to prison, suffered from a major car accident, and countless other setbacks. And at the end of it all, he's still standing tall. We have North Star, featuring CeeLo Green. Offset discusses obstacles he's faced as his fame or star has increased. He says they plot their enemies. They try to split the 3. And this is in reference to the media trying to pit each member of the group against one another, saying that maybe they'll be better off if one of them, go the single route. Because initially in the beginning, they were saying that Quavo was like the best one out of the group. So I think in a sense, for them to try to showcase their individual talents, they each decide to, drop their own solo project. But at the end of the day, they're family, and there's nothing stronger than their family bond. So they're going to stick together. And then he says, they lying about the hoes is fucking my bitch up mentally. And this is in reference to the blogs and the media posts putting certain women on Offset. Some of the accusations were true, but others are false, which I'll get into that later on. We have After Dark. Offset gives an account of the street life. He opens up by paying respects to a fallen brother named Paris Brown. And in memoriam to him, he got a tattoo of an Eiffel Tower, which is to pay tribute to him. He then details busting his gun, fighting, stealing, and serving. He says, I know she is ashamed. I broke her heart. And I think that this could be a reference to his mother or his grandmother being ashamed, because of the situations he put himself in. Then we have Don't Lose Me. This record is basically Offset, admitting to cheating on Cardi B and basically discussing the fallout from the situation. That was all in the media and how they separated. And then eventually they ended up reconnecting, on a vacation in the island somewhere. And then we have track 12, Clout, featuring Cardi B. The song addresses people doing things for notoriety at someone else's expense. And this is what I was getting to. Selena Powell is a prime example, considering she pinned a fake pregnancy on Offset. So if you aren't familiar with her, she's basically a chick that's has gone around mimicking the same actions of, other vixens like Cat Stacks and whatnot. And way back when, she borrowed a pregnancy photo from one of her friends to make it seem like Offset got her pregnant, which was a lie. She was just doing that for clout, which is the name of the song. And then we have Red Room. Offset gives an account of his upbringing, loss, pain, and the effects of his success on those around him. I think this was probably one of the more better songs on the album. And also like the visuals that went along with it. It basically was kind of like a play-by-play picture of everything he went through from, you know, his humble beginnings up until now. And then we have track 16, Came a Long Way. On this record, Offset reflects on his humble beginnings up until now. Moving on, sleepers for this album, we have track 3, Lick. Track 5, Made Man. I thought that was kind of ironic because he and the other two members of the Migos had a similar name record on the Culture 2 album. We have Wild Wild West featuring Gunna. We have Underrated and On Fleek featuring Quavo. I thought Underrated was a pretty interesting track because he viewed himself as being underrated as well. And then, you know, through all of his hard work, he's basically shown that he's actually, you know, very talented and versatile. And the album speaks for itself. Skips, we have Tats on My Face, Legacy featuring Travis Scott and 21 Savage, and Quarter Milli featuring Gucci Mane. My personal favorites for this album are How Did I Get Here, Wild Wild West, North Star, Red Room, and Came a Long Way. And my overall conclusion, I thought the album was very introspective, which is pretty cool to see at least one of the members of the Migos do this, because the other two albums, they were seemed like they were just kind of put together. This one is more, it has more feeling to it because it's, you know, actual situations and stories behind a lot of the songs on the album. And we see a lot of growth from him throughout the album. We hear him talking about investing and, you know, buying land and stuff for his kids, which is him looking to the future and not just looking to now. And overall, I thought it was a pretty good album, and I gave it a 13 out of 16, which comes out to an 81%. So overall, I thought this was a pretty dope album. I think this is my favorite out of the 3 from the Migos. But anyways, guys, if you're a fan of Offset, be sure to check out this album, buy it, stream it. If you enjoyed my review, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.